Let's make some Brazilian flan, also known as pudim in Portuguese. First off, we're gonna start out with the caramelized sugar. I usually just eyeball it, but I just put like a good amount of sugar on a hot pan. I just mix that until all the little pieces of sugar are completely gone. I add a small amount of water and I mix that in. I put the caramelized sugar into the pan that I'm going to make the flan. I always gotta be careful because it's always hot. And that's why I use gloves to get the sugar all around the pan. For the flan ingredients, I use 2 cans of condensed milk. I add 4 eggs as well. And I mix all of this first before adding the milk. I just use the cans to measure the milk. I always notice that there's a lot of little bubbles after I mix everything together. And I try to avoid that as much as possible so the flan doesn't have as many holes. Because don't get me wrong, it is very hard to make a flan without holes. But one of the few things that I try to do to avoid it is letting it rest for about 10 minutes before putting it into the pan. And once I put it in the pan, I make sure to use a strainer. I use aluminum foil to cover the top so it doesn't get burned. Then I put it into another pan with water and I leave it in the oven for an hour and a half. I put mine in the freezer because I was in a rush, but the ideal thing is to put it in the fridge for a few hours. I feel like when you cool it down the proper way, way better. But the important thing is the taste, and mine came out so good.